Hi everyone, and welcome to Honors Chemistry. My name is Mrs. Clow, and I'll be the instructor for this course. Normally I give this little presentation the first day back at school when we have those 15-minute orientation meetings, but since we aren't having those this year, I wanted to take some time and give a little introduction to my class here so that both students and parents can have a look at it. So I'm going to go through just a few things. The first thing I like to talk about is what we offer for chemistry at St. Stephen's. It is super important to make sure you're in the right class. So this is something to really pay attention to. So we offer 2 different years of chemistry. So for first year chemistry, first of all, chemistry is a required class at St. Stephen's. So everyone who graduates from here does actually take chemistry class. So first year chemistry is either going to be conceptual chemistry or honors. The difference between those two are two things really: speed that we go through the material and math. So in conceptual chemistry, they kind of take their time. They really focus, just like the name says, on the concepts that go with chemistry. In honors, we focus a lot more on problem solving and we cover a lot more material. So on a typical year, honors chemistry covers just about twice as much material as conceptual chemistry does, and we do it in more depth. So we go pretty quickly. As far as math, we will do math in this class. It's not any harder. It's actually less difficult than what you do in your math class. The difference is I don't teach you how to do the math. I assume you already know how. So we clip through things. You have to be really comfortable with math. If you're spending time thinking about how to solve a problem, that's really going to impede your progress in the course. So I'm going to give you guys some good math the first 2 weeks here while we're in drop add, just to make sure that you're feeling comfortable with it. Most of the math in this class, we do some light math first semester, but second semester, specifically third interim, we'll hit math really hard where we just do it every day. So if you're not comfortable with it now, you're really going to struggle then. So that's why I'm going to give you a taste of it. If you feel like you're not in the right class, please talk to me or talk to Mrs. Kahn and we'll get you squared away, because you don't want to be in the wrong class. You'll be pretty miserable if you are, okay? So that's first year chemistry. Second year chemistry is AP chemistry, and that's optional. You don't have to take that. But mostly it's students who take honors chemistry who are the ones who are most likely to take AP chemistry. Most students take first year chemistry sophomore year, not everyone, but most do. So second year chemistry, being AP, is generally either junior or senior year, more often junior year, because you've just had chemistry, so it makes sense to kind of keep going with it. So that's what we'll look at for what we offer at St. Stephen's for chemistry. So in this class, in honors chemistry, here's the basic topics that we cover. I'm not going to read them off for you, but it's probably exactly what you expect in chemistry. The way that we go through this class is we basically follow the models of the atom historically. So we're going to start with the simplest model of the atom, and that actually explains pretty much everything that we talk about early on in the school year. And then as we need a more complex model to explain what's happening in chemistry, then we just keep adding more and more complex models of the atom until we get to the end of the year. So that's basically kind of how our class runs. So what you need for this class, so you do need a calculator. Don't come to class with your cell phone and use that for your calculator. You shouldn't use your cell phone in class anyway. And it's a lot harder to use a cell phone calculator when you have to use like scientific notation and parentheses and things like that. So whatever calculator you use for math is great. You will need an iPad for this class. A computer doesn't really work very well because it's really difficult to draw pictures, which we do a lot of in chemistry. It's difficult to type chemical equations is pretty awful. So you do need an iPad and some sort of a stylus. So I said a keyboard is helpful. I have a keyboard on my iPad and I use it all the time just if I want to type something up real quick. It's really handy to have instead of using half of the iPad screen as a keyboard. For a stylus, you can use any stylus that you want. If you get an Apple Pencil, they're amazing. So once you get an Apple Pencil, you really never go back from there, but they are expensive. So I know not not everybody's going to have one of those. So it also depends on your iPad. You need to have a new enough iPad to support an Apple Pencil. So if you consider that, make sure you have a newish iPad. I think the last maybe 3 years or so. So you will have some apps that you need to have downloaded. I'll keep a list of those on SES. I put pretty much everything in SSES Online. So if you need something from me, that's where you should look. So make sure that you do have my list of apps downloaded before the first day of school, and make sure you get your internet set up and all that, because there's a new internet protocol this year. So you'll be hearing more about that with advisory probably. So a question I get all the time in this class is, especially I get an email from a parent this summer, which is completely understandable. Like, I can't find the textbook. This class, we don't actually use a physical textbook. We do use a curriculum. I'm not just making things up here, but we don't use a published textbook. So the curriculum that we use was developed by Arizona State University. It was developed by high school and college professors, high school teachers and college professors working together. That's unusual. Most of the time, high school textbooks are written strictly by college professors who don't actually teach high school students. So this is a much better approach. It's a widely used curriculum nationwide and even internationally. So it's something that's been around quite a while. We also use CK12. Oh, by the way, with that modeling curriculum, I'll give you everything that you need. So that's another reason you want that iPad. I'm going to be posting stuff on SES. I might airdrop stuff to you, so you just need to have a place to put stuff, and we'll get you organized in class. So CK12 is kind of a backup for those students who are like, oh my goodness, I really just want to read a textbook. I get that sometimes. So CK12 is a great resource for that. It's not our main resource, but it's kind of an additional tool that you might use. It also has some neat animations and things that we'll use from time to time. Chemistry. Chemistry is really all about the labs. So the labs are the best. If you haven't actually burnt some stuff or blown something up that's little and safe, then you haven't really done chemistry. So we will do labs. It's a little different this year with coronavirus. We'll have to change some things up, and some things we do may be virtual depending on how this year goes. But we have to do some sort of labs. So the most important thing with labs in chemistry is you have to do them safely. So there is a safety contract I want you guys to take a look at and make sure you sign. So that'll be one thing that you'll do for me. But we talk about that every time we do a lab, is how to do it safely. They're the coolest thing in the world, but you don't want to do anything that you're not supposed to do and have a bad outcome. So definitely got to stay on our lab safety. Okay, a few things about me. I know a few of you guys, but not too many. I originally came from Nebraska, so I was born and raised there. I got my bachelor's degree at the University of Nebraska. I'd say go Huskers, but there's no football this year, so I don't know what I'm going to do with myself on Saturdays this fall. But, well, I guess we'll say go Huskers anyway, eventually, sometime. So I got my master's at Arizona State University with that modeling program that I talked to you about. So that's where that came from for me. And then I came to teach at St. Stephen's in 2003. So I was teaching a few years before that. This is about my 20th year teaching. Some of those were part-time as I had a family of my own. So, but I've been here for I've been teaching 20 years now, going at St. Stephen's around 17. So I've been here a while. I'm a St. Stephen's person through and through and love being here. So I look forward to getting to know you guys and having you be a part of my St. Stephen's experience. So as we go through chemistry, there will be times when you need help, and that's completely natural. So when you need help, what should you do? So first and foremost, ask questions in class. That's going to be your biggest thing. I know it's a little weird this year. We're wearing masks, and sometimes it's a little harder to talk. You might have to talk louder, but do what you got to do. If you have a question, get it answered. That's what I'm here for, and I'm more than happy to help you. So if that doesn't work out, if we don't have time in class or you're not super comfortable with that, please come in and see me or set up a Zoom appointment. However we're going to do help this year, I'm not really sure. But if you have a study hall that overlaps with my prep period, that's great too, before and after school, or we can set up a Zoom time if that works. We'll be using an app this year called ClassKick, and ClassKick actually actually shows me live what you're writing on your iPad, so I can write back live and we can go back and help each other without actually physically touching each other's stuff, which is very cool. So that's going to be a great tool for us this year. You feel free to email me, use SSES Online. I have my messages set up for SES that if I get a message through there, it sends me a text message, so I at least see it right away. I may or may not have time to answer you right away, but I definitely see the messages that come in as they come in. So that's pretty quick. Parents, if you need to talk to me, you can always email me, or even email to set up a time to talk on the phone is good, since I have a different schedule throughout the day. You can send me a SES message. If you do call me, please don't call my school number. It actually goes to a desk in the science office, and especially this year, I don't plan on being in there very much as we try to social distance. So my cell number is on the directory on SSES Online. I didn't want to put it on a video that might end up on YouTube, but you can look it up and give me a call if you need to. If you need to Zoom chat, we can set that up as well. So bottom line, if you need help, if you need anything from me, if you just need to chat about something, I'm not going to know unless you make a point of talking to me. So communication is super important, especially this year. So talk to me as much as you need, okay? So what should you do next? Definitely get your apps downloaded, get your iPad all ready. If you have the same iPad that you had in like 3rd grade or 4th grade, you might want to take a look at it because it might not be able to hold a charge. It might not be able to be updated to the latest operating system, things like that. So that is going to be super important. I didn't mention one thing we do with our iPad is we have data collection equipment and it connects wirelessly to the iPad. So that's another reason you need to do that. It does not work well with MacBooks and things like that. So get your apps downloaded, sign into ClassKick. I have a class set up for you. I'll put the code for that on SSES Online, so you can do that. And also on SSES Online, you'll find the safety contract. So the student will need to sign that and the parent will need to sign that. And I'll put that in as an assignment for you. So you get that done, you're going to start chemistry with an A+, which would be a pretty cool way to start. So as we go through this year, I just want to emphasize, I know you know this, but we all have to be really flexible this year. So I'm here to help you, but I need you to show a little bit of grace with me too. And we'll just have to see how this year goes. And we're just going to roll with it and hopefully have some fun and try to maybe burn some stuff with Bunsen burners, because that's what you should do in chemistry. But we'll have to do it a little differently this year. Maybe individual Bunsen burners is probably what we'll have to do. So chemistry is an awesome class. I hope you love it. I love it so much. It's so fun to get to do experiments and, get out of your chair and get to do some things. So I hope we have a great year. And again, if you need anything, just let me know. So I'll talk to you soon. See you in class. Parents, you can Zoom me if you need to talk.